Ohio State has a history of producing innovative thought leaders in all disciplines, but especially engineering. And many of these leaders go on to launch their own businesses. What if rather than waiting, students had the opportunities and resources to launch their businesses now? The President's Buckeye Accelerator program at The Ohio State University supports students launching startups. It combines entrepreneurial skill building, deep mentorship, community building, and funding with a structured process. 6 student ventures compete for a spot in the year-long program. Engineering students Adithya, Ramaswami, and Jack Murray formed a startup called Parawave and were chosen as part of the program's first ever cohort. They join me today to talk about their experience launching a business while completing their degrees. Adithya, Jack, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Okay, it's time for stories. So you founded your company in 2022, but as anyone who has been involved with a startup knows, the idea must have gone through a couple of iterations, back and forth. Can we do this? Should we do this? Why? So was there an initial spark? Did you know each other already? Fill us in.
Well, Jack and I both met at Ohio State's chapter of the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. Prior to launching the business in 2022, I had started up Ohio State's first drone and advanced air mobility competition team, Buckeye Vertical, back in 2020. I'm also a former intern with the Federal Aviation Administration in their UAS integration office. And it was really exciting to take my passion on the drone side in academia, as well as my drone passion on the regulatory side, and to work with Jack in exploring the industry side and taking our passion in the drone space and applying it in a way that was meaningful and exciting.
My first experience in the drone space actually came from Adithya. He was sharing a variety of internship opportunities with me because I was on the internship hunt, and he had come across this opportunity through the Ohio State Keenan Center for Entrepreneurship. They have the Wolstein program, which funds students through scholarships to pursue internships with local-based startups. Adithya had shared an opportunity with me for a company called Rescon Technologies, which develops machine learning for drone control applications. And I had applied, and it was an absolutely incredible internship experience over the summer. I got to work on a demo drone build for a nonlinear base controller, and for me, that was my first experience working with drones. It was extremely cool because I got to work hands-on with drones, so that was an incredibly fun experience. Since then, I served as a former intern at NASA Marshall and Langley, and got back into the startup space again with Point Pro Inc., another local Columbus-based startup working on digital twin systems for manufacturing equipment. Through that experience, I really found a huge passion for drones, but also a huge passion for working in small startup-based teams to build really foundational technologies and also systems and businesses. So for me, all of that kind of culminated when Adithya and I came together to submit an idea for a business to the President's Buckeye Accelerator.
With both our past experience too in the drone space, Jack had heard of President's Buckeye Accelerator from the Keenan Center of Entrepreneurship. We were both talking about it one night. It's like, hey, let's apply, let's see what happens. And that led us to starting up Firefight Arrow for drones for fire departments. And then after a lot of customer conversations, they were like, it's great that you're thinking of us, but there's a lot of agencies that cross-coordinate and work together during emergencies. So having a name that's more inclusive of the entire emergency response space can be really beneficial for you guys. And that led us to rebrand to Parawave. So it was really exciting to take all our past experiences as students and then turning it into a business.
So tell me a little bit more about Parawave. I mean, what are the problems that you're solving, and how are you thinking about the new innovation that's needed for solving these problems?
Absolutely. Parawave aims to be the one-stop shop for all drone-related needs for the first responder space. Our vision is to develop autonomous solutions to enable first responders to quickly assess any situation from a bird's eye view to help better inform their operations and to accomplish what matters most, saving lives.
And for us, the way that we're approaching that is through 3 main branches. One of those branches will be by providing drone platforms to public safety drone teams. Another one will be by providing accessories to those drone platforms so that way they can customize their solutions to their own needs. And then the third by providing a secure and easily shareable live streaming platform so that way they can share the live feed of an emergency and the information that they need to assess from that emergency with their teams of first responders.
All right, so that gets me into what you've learned because that sounded beautiful. I don't have any money, but here's $1. So as we've said, the President's Buckeye Accelerator program is highly selective. So being chosen as part of the first cohort ever is a huge, enormous deal. Tell me about this experience. What sort of resources, training, mentorship did you receive? And what did the program ultimately propel you to do in terms of this venture space?
The President's Buckeye Accelerator, Adithya and I had both found the opportunity separately. Adithya, if I remember correctly, I think you had found it through one of Dean Howard's emails. And I had found out about it while looking for additional opportunities past the summer internship program to continue working with local-based startups. Through that, after applying with a vague idea for a drone company, we came into the program in January and quickly realized after working with, I guess I should probably take a step back and clarify what the program looks like. So the program for the President's Buckeye Accelerator is separated into 2 stages. The first stage is about 2 or 3 month boost camp where students work in teams to further build out their business ideas with a wonderful, absolutely incredibly talented environment of mentors. From there, they go through 2 stages of judging, 1 round of competitions for the entire group that whittles down into about 10 or so ventures. And those 10 or so ventures then go on to compete in the final round, where 6 are selected to become part of the cohort and receive $50,000 in funding. So for us, we came into Boost Camp with a vague idea for a drone business, quickly realized after working with our absolutely incredible mentor, Greg Pugh, that we needed to refine our business towards something that we were really passionate about. And for us, that was saving lives. So we pivoted and refined the business down to Firefight Arrow. And Greg, the wonderful soul that he is, really, really challenged us to continue validating with customers and working with customers. So we went out, ended up speaking directly with the director of Franklin County Emergency Management and Homeland Security. And that first conversation resulted in a letter of support, which for us was an incredible amount of validation that, to be honest, we probably weren't expecting coming in that conversation. By the time of the actual competition, I believe we had received somewhere around 5 LOS. And that validation of working with public safety and disaster response in the local community really allowed us to propel forward through that competition and really validated that we were approaching a problem that needed a solution, which was incredible.
Yeah. Hearing from first responder agencies how drones can be valuable towards their operations and the work that they're doing was really inspiring on our end because neither Jack or I have any first response experience. So hearing directly their stories of what it can be used for was really exciting and encouraging on our end, knowing that the work that we're doing is going to be meaningful and going to have an impact.
Beautiful. So you mentioned the Keenan Center for Entrepreneurship earlier, of course, the President's Buckeye Accelerator program. What other resources at Ohio State did you tap into?
Ohio State has been absolutely foundational in helping us find the resources that we need in order to make this business a success. For us, what the last year or so has really focused on has been 2 main branches. One where we've further refined and validated our business and our business model. And Ohio State has been really helpful in helping us do that through the Accelerator program. Over the past year, we've been continuing to work with the wonderful community of mentors in a much smaller group to really handle and approach the challenges that come with building out the business from the idea and validation stage all the way up to a fully operating entity. For us, that was an incredible experience to continue building out the business model from there. Ohio State has also been absolutely incredible in helping us with technology creation and development as well. We were able to work with the university to sponsor 3 separate capstone projects this year. 2 through the Computer Science and Engineering Department, focused on the development of a user interface for a drone controller, and another one through the Multidisciplinary Capstone Program, where Adithya and I serve actually as both sponsors and students on, which, to the best of our knowledge, is the first of its kind in that class. All of that has been a really wonderful experience, and I think speaks volumes to the talent here at Ohio State. Every day, whether it's one of the capstones that we sponsor or one of the capstones that we work with as students, I feel at least I come out surprised because everybody is always 10 steps ahead of where I thought things were. And taking that knowledge that everyone in those groups, including ourselves, has gained through our technical experiences at Ohio State and connecting that to the business development opportunities that we've had through the Keenan Center That connection has been what Capstones for us has been really foundational for. And we think that that's what can really pave the path for future student entrepreneurs, especially undergraduates, to find that path from technology development that they might see at the university all the way up through commercialization.
It's also really exciting because we're really hopeful that this paves the path forward for future students to take their passion of what they've learned in the classroom and then apply it to do something that they're passionate about. And I think that, I know for the engineering curriculum last year, it's really focused on capstone projects. It's really exciting to be able to blend start a startup business as a student and then finding ways to tap into combining it with academic classes as well. I think that can pave the path forward for some really exciting potential in building up the student entrepreneurial community. And with the Keenan Center of Entrepreneurship too, they've done an incredible job with creating a community of students that are all facing the same challenges, facing the same struggles, and building out their own ventures. And being a part of a community of students that are doing what they're passionate about is incredibly energizing and inspiring as well. And I think that over the next upcoming years too, as that student entrepreneurial community continues to build, I think it's going to see rippling effects in what the Buckeye community can do.
I think there's also something to be said for being able to get back to that entrepreneurial student community at Ohio State as well. Adithya and I have worked pretty heavily with some of the student ventures that are working right now through the Boost Camp and Accelerator, as well as the Best of Student Startups competition this past fall. Adithya actually served as a judge on the BOSS panel, as did I. And we've also been working with some of the ventures in Boost Camp for PBA this semester as well. There's a lot of really incredible ideas out there, and it's been even more incredible to see the kind of impact that our current cohort has had in paving the way for the upcoming one.
So you're blending your passion for the drone space, you're giving back and serving the entrepreneurial student community. You're also students. So let me ask you, you're both graduating soon as aerospace engineers. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so how are you juggling being a student, an entrepreneur, but also a leader in this space?
It's exciting. When I started college, I did not think I'd be concluding my time as an undergrad, starting up a business. At times, it can be very difficult to juggle being a student as well as starting up a business too. Both Jack and I talk about it quite a bit of all right, we might not get through everything we need to this week, but that's okay. Staying positive, keeping our heads up, and grinding through. And I think that positive energy, working with Jack, is just absolutely incredible. And we both support each other in those down moments too. We pick each other up and it's all right, we got this, we can push through, and we're going to make it happen. Any startup having a really incredible team is so important because it makes balancing being a student at the same time a lot easier as well.
That support with our team and making sure that if anything's falling on one of our ends, the other one can pick up at any point. That support has been really critical in making sure that we can get done what we need to get done, especially in an environment where not everything always gets done every week. In fact, very often it doesn't, and that is completely fine. Another big one has been communication. There have been a lot of times where we either have had to miss class for an event happening that is really critical for Parawave, or maybe there's a midterm happening that happens to overlap with something major for Parawave that we just have to go to the midterm for. And what's been really important there has been really refining the ways that we communicate with faculty and our professors in order to make sure that we can balance all of that. That communication skill is something that really gets bolstered through the student entrepreneur experience, I think. And then there's also the time management aspect as well. We jokingly send each other calendar invites for very mundane things on our end.
Calendar invites hold everything together. It's like the glue behind our organization.
Yeah, calendar invites really are really a wonderful way to lay out everything. And I freshman year me in undergrad definitely would not be saying the same thing right now, but we are where we are today. That time management skill is also something that really gets grown in that kind of an experience.
And also in our experience too, we received a ton of support from our professors and the faculty that we work with. And that is something that has made things a lot easier too, with balancing the student life as well as the entrepreneurial life as well. It's a dual citizenship, but there's also a lot of incredible overlap.
So the juggling is possible because of supportive cultures, supportive community, time management, i.e. calendar invites.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
and passion.
And passion.
Because at 2 a.m. we're working on stuff. It's all right, it's 2 a.m., why are we doing this? But we're reminding ourselves, the work that we're doing we're passionate about it. It has a meaning. and it makes the work a lot easier, especially at those, I guess, arbitrarily picking 2 a.m., more like 1:30, but it varies per night.
Oh, yeah.
So then what's next? So you're graduating, company's still going on. So what's next for the company and for yourself?
We are so excited to be launching our MVP this summer for beta flight testing. And then we're going to be refining the aircraft. And then we're excited to start selling our drone tech later on at the end of this year. We've had quite a few people ask us, like, all right, when's the drone ready? It's like, just give us a few more months and we'll be ready. So that's going to be an incredible milestone for the Parawave team. Parawave is also going to be based in Columbus too. So there's going to be a lot of exciting stuff happening there. Both Jack and I, we have a ton of passion in the research space, and we're excited to also be diving into grad school as well. It's kind of a question of what that balance is going to look like between starting a business as well as grad school, but anything's possible, and we're excited to kind of take that dive in and pave that path.
And that further exploration and growth in the research space for us is built on the vast amount of research and development that we have happening at the university. For us, there have been so many cool experiences that we've gained through research, especially with drone technology, and being able to continue contributing to that community and that knowledge is an incredible opportunity, whether or not it's commercialized.
So, well, I'm rooting for you, and I'm really ready to see this take off. That was like a joke. You can laugh.
Yes.
So, Adithya and Jack, we are looking forward to hearing more about Parawave's progress in the coming future, especially this MVP in the summer. I am looking forward to seeing it fly. We're so proud of what you've already done and what is the future has in store for you. I really appreciate you coming, and thanks for sharing with your adventure, your story, and really inspiring others.
Thank you so much, Dean Howard, for the opportunity for us to speak today, and we're excited for the future.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for listening to Enginuity. Stay up to date on all the amazing innovation and groundbreaking research happening within The Ohio State University College of Engineering. And remember to connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at OSU Engineering.